Mark. I'm the bass player for a band called 6 Foot that's based out of Red Deer, Alberta, in Canada. And we're basically a brand new band. We just got together in end of May is when we met. So no albums yet out. We're still working on stuff. It's all original material, things like that. But that's not why I'm here to talk to you today. So for me, as I said, I'm the bass player. I just got into playing bass not that long ago, so I'm kind of a new musician. I did play guitar for like a year, and I won't get into my whole musical history yet. It's kind of long and convoluted, and it's kind of beside the point. No, you obviously clicked on this video because you're wondering probably what I meant by that you can turn any drive pedal into a bass drive pedal, overdrive, distortion, whatever you want to throw in there. Yeah, and you can do it with one or two different types of tools. Now, the funny thing is, I actually don't own a bass overdrive pedal. I haven't got around to getting one yet, and the ones I have tried, I haven't been overly impressed with them. They don't quite have the growl sound that I kind of like to get out of my bass, particularly. I do have a Boss ME20B, and I actually haven't been using it for the last number of weeks. Overall, it was good. It was really good to start off with. Excellent thing. I got a really good deal on it, and it does have basically probably what's really close to Boss's ODB3 pedal, I think it's called. Their standard overdrive. I can't remember what it's called. Sorry, I should have looked that up before. So it's got something that's probably comparable to it. If you're on so they name the pedals three different things. There's effects, delay, and then compression or distortion, I guess. So they've got a compressor, overdrive, distortion, and then there are two synth pedals in there too. There's also an overdrive plus direct, and that's the proper way to run bass distortion. Bass distortion. Like I said, you want that mix of dry signal and affected signal, because when you have an affected signal, you kind of lose a lot of that really low end that a bass has. If you play a bass through it, you're kind of okay on your A, D, and G string, your first, second, third string. You're kind of okay on those. On your fourth string, on your low E, I tune down to drop D. You really lose a lot of that bottom end if you play straight through a distortion pedal, unless you have that dry signal mixed in. Now, what you really want to know. So, like I said, there's two pieces of equipment that I know of, that I'm aware of. And actually, there's probably a lot more out there. So one way of mixing your affected signal in with your clean signal is if you have an amplifier with a send-return line, but that send-return line has to have an attenuator on it. So what it does is actually does do the mixing right on the amplifier itself. Now, I don't know specifically which amplifiers out there do that. I haven't done my research on it. I've seen a couple. I can't remember what they were. But that's kind of, yeah, you got to have that specific amplifier to do that. Now, what I do, what I found out, this thing, you got to have one on your pedal board. You absolutely have to. And it's the Boss LS2 line selector. This thing is perfect for doing exactly what I said about mixing that dry, unaltered bass signal in with your effects. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So the first thing you need to do with the LS2 is make sure that it's in the AB mix mode. So what that does is that when the pedal is off, then there's nothing but signal nothing but your straight dry signal going through. That's what I do. I plug my bass into the input, and I go the output to my bass amplifier. So like I said, you want to select the A plus B mix is what you want to do. What that does, the LS2 has two send return lines. Send A, return A, send B, return B. Okay, so your unaltered, so your input signal goes directly out of these two send lines right here. That is also a way you can use this to operate two amplifiers. It actually does work, but then the mix knobs don't work. But anyway, beside the point. So what you want to do first, like I said, what I do is I take the A send return and I use that for my dry bass signal. How do I do that? I plug in, I take a patch cable, plug in one end to the send, the other end into the return, just like that. So that dry signal is just going out from here, back in. What that does, gives me a volume control too. So if I'm playing a passive bass and I need a little more volume, I can tweak that up a bit. It actually kind of turns your passive bass into an active signal. A little bit. Not exactly, but it does give you a little bit of extra boost. So I have my clean bass signal. So now we want a distorted one. And like I said, we want to use any pedal for it. So let's see, on my pedal board, I have a Cool Cat transparent overdrive, and I have a Digitech DF7 distortion factory, which gives me 7 distortion pedals. But I also have, let's see, I've got the Boss Metal Core, and actually I like this one. I have used it for bass distortion, and it sounds pretty good when I get it set up. Problem is, it doesn't really like blending with other pedals. So with the Cool Cat and the DF7, I can turn them on both together, and they sound really good together, or just one with the other. They sound fine. This one did not like to cooperate. So I had the DF7 acting as a tube screamer, and when I put them on together, they just really clashed and they didn't like each other. And it was like, ah, crap, because this thing by itself sounded pretty cool. So, okay, we're going to turn this into a bass distortion pedal. So I need a couple of patch cables. Alrighty. So, send B out to the input of the metal core. The output of the metal core to the B return. And really twist it up, as you can see. But now, EHX does a really good thing. They put the send return on the opposite sides, so you could have a stack set up. You could stack your pedals like this and not have your wires crisscross. It would go, it would go send to input and return to output. Really smart that EHX has done that on a few other pedals, I've noticed. But anyway, that's the signal chain. So right there, if you were just to do one pedal. So now, this is a bass distortion pedal. Throw over whatever pedal you want in there. So because this controls your clean signal, and this controls your distortion level. So you have a dry and a mixed signal. That's it. Do it. Have fun.